Welcome to more World of Warplanes content from the Noble Queue. In this video I'm going to have my first look at, and my first flights in, the P-51D Josephine. Well, good morning, I am the Noble Q. This is a stream of World of Warplanes coming to you from the United Kingdom early in the morning on Thursday. It's just gone 7 o'clock. It is bright out there, looks like it's going to be a sunny day. However, it's not particularly warm, it's only 58 degrees Celsius. So a fraction under, 58 degrees Fahrenheit, fraction under 15 degrees Celsius. So, autumn is coming. And what do we have today? Well, on the tarmac outside my hangar, here we have the P-51D Josephine, the latest reward aircraft in the game of World of Warplanes, for which there is currently a mission marathon. And let me tell you, I was quite surprised that the mission marathon is as tough as it is, including an FMOB medal, which is going to be really a nasty thing to try and get in this day of bomber spam on the EU server. Might be a little bit easier on the NA server. I'd like to think so anyway. This aircraft is not part of the regular release of reward aircraft with which we have become familiar since the middle of 2021 with the release of the XP-54 all the way back then. This aircraft has actually been produced as a tribute to a retired Air Force colonel, I believe, by the name of Joe Peterburs. Now, if you want to know about Joe Peterburs, you can go and read up on the internet about him. Nevertheless, this is the plane that he was flying, and it's in the game because the World of Tanks community manager struck up a relationship with Joe Peterburs and asked World of Warplanes team if they could do something to commemorate that relationship. And here it is. Now, originally the World of Warplanes team were considering just making a special skin for the Tetri P-51D. That turned out to be not possible because of various placeholders on the skin of that plane, including the aircraft numbers and the emblems. So they've opted instead to create an entirely new aircraft with its own special skin. We're going to discuss that skin in a moment or two, but you could see that they've got some difficulties here. This emblem here, which is part of the paint scheme, is placed straight over the top of this text here. So it's not quite as well thought out as perhaps it might have been. Nevertheless, it's quite an attractive livery. It is also the case that this livery is the special feature of this game, and let's talk about that now. Special feature of this plane, not the game. And if we go into the paint shop, let's just deal with the emblem and the nose first. Okay, the nose gives you 5% crew experience, which is standard, and the emblem gives you 2% crew experience, which again is pretty standard. Nothing special about those. Here's where it gets interesting. If you wish, you can still dress this plane up in the usual camouflages that are available, universal, or the seasonal ones here, and get the benefits from those. There's also a special camouflage here, a chrome camouflage, which gives 3% cruise speed, which I have. However, I'm guessing that you'll be wanting to mount this one. And this is the first skin in the game, I believe, which has got 5 characteristics, 5 bonus characteristics. That's 4. That's 5. 20% concealment, 10% tolerance to damage from AA guns. Whoops. 5% tolerance to damage from gunners. Those are the things that you get from the seasonal camos just above. Then 8% aircraft experience. This has started appearing on some of the camouflages that have been released recently for planes like the Mosquito, the Spitfire 1. But then there's this 5th characteristic, an extra 15% chance of causing fire. Now, I don't know if the World of Warplanes team are going to be doing more of this sort of thing in the future. It's a possibility. But this is the first skin I've seen which directly affects the characteristics of the aircraft other than through concealment or tolerance to damage from AA guns and gunners. Let's have a look at the numbers of the aircraft. I'll just bring the spreadsheet into view for myself and then I'll bring it into you. However, there are no surprises here. Let's just get it in vision. Bear with me, everybody. Okay, and I'll move myself as well. Let's just move that over there. Okay, right, so is there anything special about this aircraft compared to the regular P-51D Mustang or indeed the P-51K Mustang? And the answer is no, it's identical. All of the statistics that we have available to us show this to be basically a copy of the Tetri aircraft. The only thing I would say is, and possibly this was my mistake, I've had to adjust the cruise speeds for these 3 aircraft here. That's all 3 of the P-51D Mustangs. Because I had it down as 294 miles an hour and it's now listed as 286. So either that's my mistake in the past, or there's been a subtle nerf to the cruise speed of these planes. I'm not sure which it is. Be that as it may, the story that you take away for the P-51D Josephine as an airframe and with respect to its guns is that it is in every way the same, so far as we can tell with the available information, as the P-51D Mustang. And that's a Tier 7 aircraft now fighting against things at Tier 8, such as the P-61s, and indeed probably quite a few B-29Cs at the moment as well. I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions as to how effective this plane is going to be in that kind of battle. Okay, so let's just go to what I've done with the plane. So we'll move the spreadsheet. We'll be coming back to that in a moment. Let's just take this off so you can see the interface again. Bear with me. Okay, so we've talked about the skin, which is the special feature of this aircraft. After that, it's a question of how you're going to build it. This is the press account, and I've decided for the moment to build it purely as a speed fighter, high energy fighter, and therefore I've put on the gun sight to improve the accuracy of the guns, a polished skin, uprated engine, and combined boost mixture injection system, as you can see. And these are all fully calibrated because that's the kind of thing I can do on a press account. We've got first aid dressing package, exhaust bleed inerting system to reduce the chance of fire, engine cooling, which gives you 10 seconds of extra boost if you've got any boost at all, an engine restart, and then universal ammunition. Pilot, you can use Elise Clark in this plane, but P-51D Master skill is not active. And I know some of you have been asking that question, will this particular skill here work on this particular plane? The answer is no, it won't. However, the other skill, the Maneuver Expert, will, and that's worth having. And as you can see here, I've got Aerobatics Expert, Aerodynamics Expert, Engine Guru 1, and Marksman 1. So a fairly standard build for a pilot, but taking advantage of this extra skill from Elise Clark. Let's just go and quickly look at the effects of my choices on the build. So we'll get that set up now. I'm going to go back to a workbook. Bear with me. And so here in column C and D, we have the base characteristics of the aircraft, which we've just glanced at. Completely standard P-51D Mustang. And then the effects of my choices with gun sight, polished skin, uprated engine, and I've put down high-speed gas turbine here. It's actually combined injection boost system, combined injection and mixture. Let's just call it SIBS for a moment. We've improved the accuracy of the guns from a dispersion angle of 0.8 to 0.59. That's a welcome improvement. We've got a little bit of an adverse effect on fire resistance, which is why I mounted that consumable to reduce the chance of fire here, bringing this down to 48 from 60. The airspeed is where we've got the big gain. It's gone up to 66. We've got the cruise speed up to 361. We've got the boost maximum speed up to 477. We've lost 1.8 seconds of boost, however. We've even improved the manoeuvrability a little bit, principally through the use of Elise Clark. Got it up to 68. Turn time is 10.45 seconds, down from 10.8. We've got a roll rate, which is slightly better at 148. And other effects coming from the skin, and additional to the other bonus characteristic that I picked off the gun sight, we've got a 25% extra chance of causing fire. And it does appear to cause a lot of fires, to be fair. I've flown it about 3 times, so that's useful. It's not going to make this plane game winning, or certainly not game wrecking. And a 15% chance of criticals. Survivability, 25% extra control of the aircraft when control surfaces are damaged. That comes from Elise Clark. 20% concealment, that's from the livery or paint scheme. 10% tolerance from to AA damage, and 5% tolerance to gunners, also from the livery. Minus 17% pilot injury resistance. On the airspeed, additional factors, we've got 18.4% acceleration without boost, 17% acceleration with boost, 15% acceleration whilst diving. These are all improvements, and an improvement in the cooldown rate of 15%. On manoeuvrability, we've also got 2.2% extra yaw manoeuvrability. I've just mentioned there, I've got the exhaust bleed inerting system consumable in place and the pilot is Elise Clark. And just to reiterate, she has aerobatics expert, aerodynamics expert, special maneuver expert skill, engine guru 1, marksman 1. What she doesn't have is the P-51D master skill. So that's your lot on the statistics. So I think now we ought to set up and get playing the plane. But pretty much, if you've got a P-51D Mustang, you already know how this plane plays and how you're going to fly it. There's nothing that's going to change. So let's drop into battle. Just get myself into proper position again. And there we are. Okay, so who's ready? I hope we all are. Let's go and fly the P-51D. And as I say, if you've got this aircraft, you'll already know that if you're fighting in Tier 8 battles against things like P-61s, you're going to have to really work to find things to do without constantly getting shot down. So, good morning, cliques. And immediately I'm going to say this is exactly the plane that is not for you. It's got flower holders instead of guns, as far as you're concerned. And I think we're probably going to get time to fly this 3 or 4 times before the end of the stream. Okay, immediately Tier 8 battle. LA9 Junkers, be heading for the plant, probably. F7F. Nothing too frightening here, actually. I could go for the airfield. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm actually going to go to the mining plant to try and shoot down the bomber first, to give our IL-20 a chance to lumber there and take the plant. So if you've just joined, the first section of this video, the first 15 minutes or so, has been about the statistics of the aircraft. In short, the only special thing about this plane is its paint scheme, which has an unusual extra 5th bonus, which is an extra 15% chance of causing a fire. This is not going to change the characteristics of the P-51D Mustang a great deal. This stream is being recorded, and I hope with the minimum of editing that I will upload it as a YouTube video later today. It looks like a substitute for sleeping pills. Yep, flowers and sleeping pills, cliques, for you. This is, I'm pretty sure you don't like the P-51D. You're not going to like this any better. So, as I say, I'm going hunting for the bomber. The bomber may very well choose to go somewhere else. I don't see he's done any damage yet, so it's possible he's heading towards the plant. He still hasn't done any damage. And he still hasn't, so there's a reasonable chance I'm going to find him here, I think. Well, I haven't found him, but I have found a ground attacker, so that's fine. This is pretty much a classic attack for this plane. Diving into another. And immediately cliques will be marvelling at how good these machine guns are. And going, oh, I want. Not. Okay, good. And we have found the bomber. It took a long time to get here. So we see you've got a fire. And knocking out a Tier 8 bomber with one of these things is not an easy thing to do. I've taken a lot of damage there. I'm not actually sure I'm going to have enough left to take out even this bot B-32, but we've got the plant and that's the main thing. So now I will just expend my final health, damaging at least, if not destroying this aircraft. Probably damaging, I suspect. Yeah, that's as I thought. It doesn't matter because the plant's locked. That's now extremely damaged. The AA will have a severe effect on it. A little bit disappointed we didn't take the airfield, but I think it's more important to get the plant, and I'm going to go back there and try and defend it. Mustn't expend too much health on the B-32 because I'm going to have the Tier 8 Junkers 288C coming back in. So, as I say, there's nothing remarkable about this plane apart from the skin, which has got an unusual fifth characteristic, but this is not going to change. Incidentally, if the Josephine and other parts of the textures here look rough to you when you do this, change your texture setting and your LOD setting in graphics, at least temporarily, so you can see them as well as I can. Right, that 288C has got back there pretty quickly. So I'm going to address him first and leave the B-32. This could be tight. And again, engine damage coming off the rear gunner. And he gets the advantage of not being misplaced as badly by the side of the map as the fighter is. However, he's not actually employed his gunner there. Haven't got him down. I don't think the F7F is actually paying any attention to me. Good. B-32 appears to have disappeared, potentially. Possibly the AA did for him. I've started sort of finish. I'm aware the bomber has come back from the airfield already. We'll get another. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, and that was enough for them to take the plant. Well, now that's a bother. Although we have got the two garrisons. Okay, so now change of tactic. We need to try and get into the airfield and see why we can't take that. Still, we held the plant for a good long while, and it's given us a lead. My worry is now that the IL-20 is completely out of position and won't get back there very quickly. I'd like to catch the bombers if I could inside the airfield. Don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to fly to the side. That's the B-32. I'm looking for the 288. I'm more in, oh, that's the F7F, right. I need to change my attention to the F7F anyway. Okay, that's a good kill. Don't think I particularly want to chase the B-32 now. There's the other bomber. He either crashed or went for repairs. And we are losing control of this game now. Mind you, this will be a useful 640 points. Got another player, as you can see. That's useful. Didn't quite take the airfield. And they've got a count of the plant. That's and the IL-20. This is what I feared. The IL, maybe that's the IL-20 has made it in now. Yes, he has. I need him to make sure he gets this. B-32 got shot down. He would be ideal for me to kill, but it's going to take a long time, and the time I take to kill it means that I'd be exposing myself to something else. That's the one I want to kill. we lost the game because that's a bit disappointing actually. I thought we did enough to win that game, but they got the one critical count off the plant. They must have had all 3 sectors here whilst I was busy defending the plant. A bit of a shame. Our Spitfire didn't do as well as I expected. I expected him to take the centre, and he just didn't seem to be able to do that. Anyway, you got to see the P-51D, how long it takes to knock down big things. Hello, Punk Rock, how are you? Grease Monkey, how are you? So for those of you who are just arriving a little bit later, the first 15 minutes of this video was all about the P-51D's statistics and also the special skin that it has, which confers 5 benefits over and above what has recently become 4 benefits on special liveries. And that's the only unique thing about the aircraft. In every other respect, it is a P-51D. And it really is a tribute to Joe Peterburs. And it's also not regarded as being in the regular line of reward aircraft releases, which is a bit strange because the missions for this plane are actually pretty challenging. There's an FMOV in there, for instance, that I noticed yesterday. They've actually decided to make you really work for this plane, even though it's nothing more than a P-51D with the skin that's a tribute to Joe Peterburs. Okay, so onwards and upwards. We'll see if we can get a tier 7 battle. I am actually quite surprised we lost that game. We must have... I was very busy defending the plant. We must have been down 3 sectors to 1 for quite a bit of that game. Okay, so this looks like it's probably another tier 8 battle, and it is. And I am sitting here and you're probably all thinking, what am I going to do with this P-51D Josephine against the P-61? And I'm afraid I can't tell you, apart from possibly pounce on it when it's heavily damaged and busy with something else. We're going to go to the middle anyway. Pretty much forced to go there unless we chicken out and go for the airfields. And I'm going to have to hope that my P-80A A is willing to take on the P-61 and B knows how to do so, because this aircraft isn't doing it. Well, you're more than welcome, Grease Monkey. Glad to have you along this morning, seeing the new plane. And as I just hinted, I think the mission marathon is a lot of work for what is essentially a very standard P-51D. And even I'm sitting here thinking, well, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get the FMOV, because I'm certainly not going to use high-tier ground attackers for an FMOV because of bomber spam. You're just not going to be able to do the amount of things that you do normally. Anyway, we'll have to think about that when we come to it. I managed to get 3 of the missions done yesterday. I'm not going to charge at this particular plane, though. We already know all about it because it's a P-51D Mustang that's essentially unmodified. And I'm recording this stream and I'll pop it up as a YouTube video, I hope later today. I'm slightly confused as to which aircraft I was shooting there. Okay. P-80A has been pretty much with me from the start, and we haven't seen the P-61. So, questions. Where did he go? He's over an airfield, so he chickened out. Oh, the P-80. I suppose that was an accident waiting to happen, wasn't it? P-80A could have actually left the ground attack to me and gone up for the bomber. I suppose I could say the same thing really, but he's the tier 8, so it's better if he goes for the bombers. Assuming the bomber's going to execute a turn. That may be proved to be an unfounded assumption. Finally. Long reload, of course, so presumably that's the reason for the elongated time flying away from the sector. So much so that I may shoot him down when he's not in it. He has just managed to creep in. Okay. P-80A has also gone off to do other things, I see. P-61 is now on his way in. Just disappeared off radar there. And I don't want to be the first to go for the P-61, to be truthful, because that's only going to end one way, unless he's horribly damaged. That looked like a give up from the Fokker Wolf, to be fair. If I want to continue doing useful stuff in this game, I'm not going to present myself to the P-61. Hello, who are you? It's not going to do that. Let's fly away instead. Oh, I got a really nasty kick off the mouse there. And that time could not have been worse. Just when I was sizing up the A7M, and the mouse kicked. This is the time to try and take on the P-61. Oh, of course the yak goes down just as I approach the P-61 and he's no longer busy, so I've now got myself shot down. Let's make sure we stay out of the sector. That's really frustrating. He was busy with the plane and somehow he got shot down, which meant he was able to turn his attention to me. P-80A doesn't appear to be paying any attention. Now, I've got two pieces of bad luck there. The A7M I was unable to shoot because I got a kick on the mouse just as I was coming in for him. Got him this time. And then P-61, the distraction left the moment I chose to go in for him. There we go, cleared those three out. I don't know where the P-80 is. Looks like he may be behind me. Yes, he is. That's not ideal. It's not full health either. There's their P-61. Probably back over the plant. But I have to stop chasing the bomb. We need to try and get this back. Now, We had enough sectors early enough in that game. The P-61 played that really badly. Ducked out of coming to the middle. That set us up for the win there. And I played a reasonable part as a support aircraft. But that's 2 Tier 8 battles in a row. And that's keying you into your likely experience with this plane, or indeed any of the P-51s. You're going to get far more Tier 8 battles, potentially with aircraft you simply cannot deal with, than you are going to get Tier 7 battles. And even then, in your Tier 7 battles, you're going to need to know the techniques of high energy fighting and be competent at them to get anything out of this plane. Yeah, I guess, Grease Monkey, that's right. Some people will be enchanted by the fact that this skin is a tribute to a historical figure who's still with us, I'm pleased to say, and who has a relationship with the World Tanks community manager at the very least. It's the World of Tanks community manager we have to thank for this new plane. So he asked the World of Warplanes team if they could do anything as a tribute to Joe Peterburs. That turns out to be this aircraft, because they couldn't make the skin work on the regular P-51D tech tree plane because of placeholders for clan emblems and flight numbers. But even so, I think they've misplaced the emblem on this aircraft because it's over that writing. So lots of people will be enchanted by that and want the aircraft for that reason. But as a pure vehicle in the game, there is almost nothing to distinguish it from the regular P-51D. Just that extra bonus characteristic on the camouflage, basically. And beyond that, nothing else. And those of you who don't like machine gun aircraft, cliques, I'm speaking to you at the moment, are probably not going to be thrilled at having to work your pants off to get this plane through what is quite a stiff mission marathon, it turns out. And I think I can say that at one point there was consideration to actually issuing this aircraft for free. So the fact that it's now come out behind a long and fairly difficult mission marathon is a little bit surprising to me. I thought it would be easier than this. Well, when you say all, good morning to you, Flushmaster. When you say all, that would include me. I'm telling myself to get good because I'm not that good in the P-51D myself. The big problem is with the machine guns is that they time to kill. You spend too long on aircraft trying to kill them, and in these days, time to kill is more significant, I would say, in this game now than it was when I started playing it, and it was pretty significant then. Long times to kill planes are not good. Okay. Heavens above, we have a Tier 7 battle. However, we now have another aircraft which we have to pay very careful attention to, and that's the K6. Can't get in front of it. Marginal as well with this build as to whether I can outmaneuver it. A26, and they've also got a Spitfire. I was about to say we've got the extra Tier 7. We no longer have, because our F7F has just dropped out of battle, so now we've got a massive disadvantage. And I think this has changed my view of this battle. I was going to go and see if I could contest the middle first. Now I'm not going to bother. I'm going to try and make sure we get the military base as quickly as possible. Maybe fly to there and then try and get that one as well. Because now I think the Spitfire's got carte blanche to hold down the middle, especially with the K6. I've seen, not necessarily that article, Flushmaster, but yes, he did meet down the ME-262 pilot that whose aircraft he crippled and eventually forced the pilot to bail out, I think. And it's not the place for this stream, but Joe has had an interesting life. He's certainly had an interesting war, that's for sure. I've done as much as I can here. I've taken down the 2 ADAs. Looks like our F7F might be coming back into the battle. We might put in disconnection. That would be good news. Spotted a bomber, so let's go for that. Tier 7 bomber, not as hard to take down as the Tier 8 bomber I was trying to attack in the first game. We've got this sector. I'm going to kill the bomber, of course, anyway. Just to send it back on its way. Still probably worth contesting the airfield, although I've got myself out of boost here. Because our military, well, mind you, their military base is going to be shooting at it as well. Oops, what's that heavy? I need to protect my assets, ground attackers and the bomber. And probably, actually, that's a good thing because we've just lost the airfield anyway. Long-range shots. Got a fire. Okay, we saved the bomber, only just though, so how much good that's going to do, I'm not sure. Afraid I'm going to have to go for this bomber. I wanted to protect our bomber, but he's on such low health, I think it's probably more valuable to kill the bomber heading for our military base. We've lost control of this battle. I'm going to have to do defence here. Let's hope they can start taking that sector and the other garrison as well. Actually, isn't the other garrison. Did we lose our bomber over there? Yeah, we did. He went down. He was too heavily damaged, it proved to be. And they've managed to defend the garrison as well. So now we're in all sorts of trouble. Not much I could do there. The heavy decided to come for me at exactly the same time as the... I say exactly the same time. Because the heavy decided to go for me, the multi-roll turned on me. Now the fact that I'm going to kill the heavy is neither here nor there. Well, actually I might just be able to get out of this. Team is unable to capture a sector. Getting dragged back towards the airfield, and that's death. Just break off a little bit. Need to get back to the military base. Do it. I've been dragged out, kited out effectively by numerous aircraft that I've shot down. We're nowhere near taking their military base. I'm having to do too much here. Just too much. I didn't have time to do everything I needed to do, and I'm not getting anything like the support I need from the rest of the team, I believe. We'll have a look at it in a moment. It doesn't really matter if I kill this bomber now or not. They've got themselves in a position where they're going to win. Yeah, I'm nearly double anybody else. Let's go and try and get some repairs. Couldn't see that he was actually facing up to me. Should have realised that he was. It's flown into the sector though, so that's helpful. Oh, P-50. Manoeuvres. Crying out loud. Just manoeuvre your way out of trouble. Q speaking to bots. Fly your plane better. Good job these don't have rear gunners. Well, I've done what I can here. Again, I've shot out 3 aircraft here. But now I am more than double anybody else on my team. My team has managed, and in that time they've managed to lose the airfield, so I can't even go for repairs. Wow. WoWp team. So A26 is probably going to shoot me down. Oh, well, he's not going to shoot me down because we lost the game. Yeah, we never had control of that from start to finish. Not much coming from the B-32, the F-7F, who did get back into the game and apparently changed his aircraft. I think it was this guy. Also didn't do much. More than double anybody else in a Tier 7 plane. Maybe I should have gone for the airfield. Maybe I made a tactical error there, but the problem is with the F-7F dropping out at the start of the game, I thought we were at such a serious disadvantage against a Spitfire and a K6. It was better to try and do the peripheral tour. My mistake. We were on the back foot from then on. Bonjour Nemesis, comment vas-tu ce matin? What does lean plan mean? Plan? Plenty. Good morning to you as well. How are you? Good to see you here this morning. Jimenka Barachu. Okay, so just to reiterate, those of you who come along latterly, this stream started with a display of the statistics of the aircraft. I'm going to summarize that easily for you. The P-51D Josephine, its statistics are identical to the P-51D tech tree plane. I then explained that the skin has 5 bonus characteristics, one of which causes extra fires on your opponents if you choose to use it, and that is the unique feature of this aircraft, the skin. And we will look at the skin now. And this, of course, is a tribute to Joe Peterburs. So in every respect, bar the special characteristic, extra characteristic on the skin, this is a standard P-51D. And it's in the game as a tribute to the relationship between Joe Peterburs and the World of Tanks community manager, who apparently is a bit of a history buff. This stream is being recorded. It's my intention to pop it up as a YouTube video when I can later today, so you'll be able to see those statistics in the YouTube video, or indeed you can watch the VOD if you prefer. And they've stuck this plane behind what I think is a pretty difficult mission marathon. There's an Efimov in there, for instance, which is not going to be the easiest of medals to get for most people, including me, especially in these days of bomber spam on the EU server. And that's a bit of a surprise to me, because at the time there was thought to even issuing this aircraft for free, then putting it behind a mission marathon, the legs of which you could complete for tokens. And unfortunately, none of that has happened. Plan. So are you asking me what plan means? It means how I'm going to go about a game, Nemesis. I'm not sure that you'd be asking me about that word. So do clarify for me. Let's have another battle. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to check there, but le mot plan signifiait plan en français. C'est la même parole. So, pardon. C'est la même mot. Okay, is this a tier 8? No, it's another tier 7. My usual plan of attack is to try and get one, if not both, command centres under control. On the top, that's going to snipe me from miles away, and has a rear gunner. Nasty. This is about as favourable a battle as it's ever going to get for the P-51D Josephine, though, so make the most of it, or at least I will try. I'm wondering if there's a word missing from the question that you've asked, Nemesis. What I'm reading is, what does mean plan? Did you actually write more and something's been missed out? Plan? Say un plan. Even with all the fire retarding capabilities I've put on this plane, I still get put on fire. And I haven't got firefighting skills on this plane, so that's a bit unfortunate. And the way I've set this plane up, taking on things like heavies, particularly lightnings, is exactly what I want to do with it. Awful shooting. It's miles off initially there. Yeah, got both of those. Turn our attention to the middle. Keeping altitude, of course, because I want to deliver a high altitude, high energy attacks if I can. Okay, I'm turning into the S199 enough for me to want to go on for it. See the TU1. Really shouldn't. Oh, it's a Focke-Wulf. I'm okay to turn with it. Although actually I just turned into it, which probably was the best thing to do actually. Right, so we need to try and stop this TU1 from having an impact at this plant if we can. Let's recoup boost, because he's a fair way away at the moment. I imagine he's going for the bomber. This would be a good opportunity for me. Yeah, rear gunner immediately shoots at my pilot. And he shot at my pilot again, so he's firing gold through the rear gunner. And now I'm just going to be spattering a B-32, so I'm going to have to do this at fairly close range. Let's hope we get a fire on him. No such luck, but I killed him anyway. Okay, so we secured the plant as well. Right, what's next? Assuming that's the lightning over the what is now the command centre is being pursued vigorously by a heavy. If it is not a repair base, I could do with repairs, but there you go, have to live without. Wow. Okay, I'm not quite sure how they took the airfield, in which case I'm going to go off and see if we can stop this XP-55 from interfering over this plant. Thank you for the gratuitous damage game. At least I can be relieved that you didn't take out my engine or my pilot or something like that. Okay, that's perfect. Came in with a perfect high energy attack, and the in addition to which the XP-55 didn't react to it anyway, so... Instant fire. I'm going to let him burn. Of course, he doesn't burn out, forcing me to have to go and attack him again. It's like a Matsu medal, 400 points in a single sortie. We've now got the other plant. The weight of numbers over there is told. I'm not going to keep boosting after this bomb and wait for it to turn. Or fly off. Either way, I achieve my aim of preventing it from taking the plant. The fire, let's remove that. Where's that TU1 going? Ooh, oh, he is playing. I thought for a second there it was AFK stuff. I've not got enough altitude here. I actually managed to lose both the command centres. Something is clearly doing some interesting work somewhere. Be nice if I can get 60 points for this B-17G before I go after a fighter. In fact, actually, if I kill this, we're going to get this sector anyway. Yeah. Okay, and we're about to get a count, and that's going to end the game. Perfect. Okay. Not bad. There we go. Akamatsu, the Campbell Medal. I did make the most of that game. Made the right tactical decisions, stopped their TU-1 from interfering with the plant, stopped their bombers, helped attack her command centre early in the battle. What's not to like? Now, sadly, as usual, I can only spend an hour in the morning streaming, so that's going to bring us towards the end of the stream. I'm just going to sum up what we've learned this morning. Okay, first off, what you need to know is I've recorded this stream. I will do a minimum of editing on it, and I will upload it as a YouTube video. At the beginning of the stream, I go through the statistics of the aircraft. I also talk about the thing that's unique about it. That's the skin, and the fact that the skin has 5 bonus characteristics, not just 4. And the key one there is the bottom of them, where you've got this extra 15% chance of causing a fire. This is the first time, to my knowledge, certainly in version 2 of the game, where a skin has conferred that benefit. And the reason we have this aircraft is because that skin, which initially was mooted to be put onto the regular P-51D, wasn't technically possible to do that because of clan emblems, placeholders for clan emblems and flight numbers getting in the way, so they decided to release an identikit P-51D, but with this skin where they could actually shape the skin as they want by removing the clan emblems and the flight numbers. And we have a mission marathon for it, which has turned out to be a pretty stiff mission marathon, much to my surprise. I thought this aircraft was going to be quite easy to obtain. It's going to take quite a lot of grinding. And with that, I am going to bring the stream to a close. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.